So as we are getting set, I want you to settle down and I will be with us in a few minutes. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀, ẹ bá pín ètò yẹn so that káwọn tó sì pẹ̀lú wa káwọn náà lè darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. I'm doing the same thing as well, just taking my time to share, the program. Very important. And please remember Omitaf Couture fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá ní òde tó ń bọ̀ tí ẹ fẹ́ ránṣọ ni. Wọ́n rán tọmọdé, wọ́n rán tàgbàlagbà, wọ́n lè send ẹ̀ sí yín ní anywhere in the world. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wà ní Nàìjíríà náà, wọ́n lè fi ránṣẹ́ sí yín through dispatch delivery. Ilé-iṣẹ́ náà wà ní block B1 suite 6FF Rauf Aregbesola shopping mall, Pako bus stop, Ìpájà Ayọ̀bọ̀ road, Lagos State. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ telephone number wọn òun náà ní 081-385-28588 081-385-28588 omitafcouture@gmail.com. We sew for all age and gender. Gbogbo aṣọ tí mo wọ̀ yìí náà eléyìí ti pẹ́ kò ń ṣe new, mo ṣe àwọn tó jẹ́ new yẹn mo ń tọ́jú ẹ̀ so that tí wẹ́dà wa bá ti dá màá lè máa rí nǹkan wọ̀ lọ sí àwọn òde tí wọ́n bá pè mí sí. So kí la fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí òun náà ni the food cost. Food cost is going up and what can be done to bring it down. So ká tó lọ síbẹ̀ mo kí ọba Elédùmarè pé ó tún jí wa padà sáyé. Mo wá kọ́kọ́ lọ kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ kọ́lọ́run bá mi foríjì ìyá náà kó bá wa tọ́ sáfẹ́fẹ́ rí àti bàbá mi náà àti gbogbo òkú ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan wa torí gbogbo náà la lókù lọ́run àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ àbẹ́yìn lókù lọ́run ta ló lókù lọ́run nu wa. I don't think there will be somebody like that. Everybody has somebody that have died within their family and somebody that they know that have died, in their lifetime. So that is about life. So I'm sharing the program. That's what I'm doing. And I hope you're helping us to do the same thing as well. So good morning. And I hope, we are, I think we should be fine. The weather is sunny outside. Ẹ̀rìbó wà sunny, mo ń rí òrùn yẹn tó ń reflect wá sísàlẹ̀. Òrùn yẹn pọ̀ dáadáa níta. And I plan to be out later on to do one or two things. It's Saturday, so I plan to be out later so that kémi náà lè lọ ṣàwọn one or two things. Mo kí Mùsùlùmí, mo kí Christian, mo kí àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe. Ẹ bá wa gbé wọlé share button tí ẹ bá ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa nígbà tá a bá ti settle down. Mo rántí ìgbà tí wọ́n distribute ìwé yìí àwọn sister Ellen ká dúpẹ́ fún wọn àtàwọn National Association of Okun Students fún Tolúlọpẹ́ Arótilé. This was 40 leaves not for sale. I hope we wọ̀ ta ní ìgbà tí wọ́n fáwọn èèyàn torí kò sí nǹkan tó kí n tà ní Nàìjíríà. Kódà àrántí nígbà tí wọ́n náà kó àwọn date wá láti Saudi Arabia tó ní kó distribute lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń tà náà ni. Títà ní gbogbo ẹ̀ṣá ni. Poverty ti pọ̀jù nínú Nàìjíríà. So everybody is looking for means to survive. So nínú ìwé náà ó kọ síbẹ̀ distribution of written material in remembrance of flying officer Tolúlọpẹ́ Arótilé. A dúpẹ́ fún bàbá wa Ìgbòho tí wọ́n láǹfààní àti yọjú sáwọn pẹ́rẹ́ǹtì Tolúlọpẹ́. You know, it's a big thing to have Ìgbòho visit them. So I'm gonna lo the back end tó ní Odùduwà national anthem. Even gan President Tinubu nígbà tí wọ́n fẹ́ campaign, máa tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ fídíò yẹn nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe campaign ní the first time. President Tinubu lọ sọ́dọ̀ bàbá Fáṣọ̀rántì wọ́n ka Yorùbá anthem àbí ṣé ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá náà ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá. Where am I? I think this should have been the, okay, I think that's the Twitter. So let my Instagram. Yeah. So that we have at least about 4 platforms. We're live on the TikTok, we're live on the Facebook, and we're live also on the, you know, I'm very appreciative minimum I wish I fish a program lé lórí náà ni ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ náà ni mo fi sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí, so ẹ bá mi pín tẹ́ bá ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ mi mo fi set ilé dáadáa. So now we're live as well on Instagram, so all the channels are fully ready to go through. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí YouTube. So ẹ jẹ́ ká ka èèyàn mélòó ló lè ka Yorùbá anthem. Gbogbo àná la mo bá ṣe ń kọrin ta mọ́ kọ àwọn orin àpàlà kankan. Bọ̀tá bá ní kẹ́ ka anthem yìí, ó bá sọ pé ó fẹ́ Yorùbá nation. President Tinubu náà kà. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I can find it so that ṣọlẹ́ lómi àní kí là ń kà fún nígbà tí President Tinubu gan lọ sí Àkúrẹ́. He recited it. Let's see if I can find it. Bola Tinubu recite Yoruba anthem. Yeah, I found it. That's the good thing about internet. Gbogbo tá ń ṣe tó bá di many years to come, people will come back and appreciate it. So yes, I think I found it. APC presidential candidate Aṣíwájú Bola Ahmed Tinubu sings Yoruba national. So tí bá wá bí báyìí, tí bá wá ní ẹ jẹ́ ká ka Yoruba national anthem, ẹ má máa wà cringe torí èmi ò mọ Nigerian anthem, especially wọ́n tún change ẹ̀ àtẹ̀mọ́ ti tẹ́lẹ̀, the new one nísìn gbogbo àwọn politicians gan wọ́n lè sọ pé àwọn mọ̀. Àwọn kan dẹ̀ ti sọ pé reason tí President Tinubu ṣe change anthem yẹn ni pé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kan wà bí atọ́fẹ́ ṣe, because the previous national anthem lámọ̀ àmọ́ the present one abẹ́yìn lè kà ta ló lè ka the current national anthem ti Nigeria lẹ́nìí. That shows that we are not a citizen of that country. A kàn ń pera wa ní Nigeria náà ni. Àwọn politician gan lè ka the current national anthem. How many people can recite it? Ẹni tó bá lè ka máa fún ẹ ní 10,000 naira. Tó bá lè pè ní kó ka the new national anthem without, you know, any mistake. But abanika ka the old one, èmi náà lè ka. Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria kan ló be to serve our father's land. Gbogbo ta kà láti primary títí dé secondary. Nígbà tí President Tinubu wá débẹ̀, wọ́n tún wá reverse ṣe rí pé ó indicate pé problem wà ní Nigeria. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. Bàbá mi Ọláwálé náà sọ pé even me I don't know Nigerian anthem. Oh, you are a Nigerian. Do you know Nigerian anthem? Ẹ jẹ́ ká ka anthem wa. But anthem yẹn èmi àti President Tinubu lájọ máa kà láàárọ̀ yìí. Torí ní July, no, ní October 2022 30th, nígbà tó lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá Fáṣọ̀rántì, wọ́n ka anthem yìí tèmi náà máa ń kà lójoojúmọ́. So be proud of you, who you are. Even if we are still Nigerians, let us be proud of who we are gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. ìyá mi pé Nàìjíríà ò ní máa exist bó ṣe exist nísìn ìgbà tó máa pín kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀, but we are working towards that. Some of us believe that Nigeria is not a country. Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ is a mere geographical location. ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ ni mo gbé wá láàárọ̀ yìí. ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ kí ló ń fà á? ẹ wo topic yẹn dáadáa torí lómi tá a bá wọnú program ìta bá gbé wá òun ni ká sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. má gbé nǹkan míì jáde wá a kò lè mú nǹkan míì mọ́ ni. life ẹ̀mí èèyàn nínú Nàìjíríà lénìí ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ àti ẹ̀mí tèmi nínú Nàìjíríà lénìí. cost of living o fẹ́ gbalé ni o fẹ́ lọ sí school ni o fẹ́ lọ university ni adúpẹ́ fún kan náà àwọn staff wa o ti graduate lénìí tọ́lọ́ wa jẹ́ kó ríṣẹ́ mo bá yọ̀ mo bá dúpẹ́ bọ̀ kọ́lọ̀ ń jẹ́ kó ríṣẹ́ yàtọ̀ sí pé ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú Koikimedia because I want them to also expand. ta ló rántí complete football mo ń wo channel àtàárọ̀ orí channels ni mo jókòó sí mo pause nínú sitting room ni mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ wa gbogbo ẹni máa kí but ká má fi àsìkò ṣe tàfàlà àti ṣe 30 minutes àìdẹ̀ tí anthem wa. So the importance of that anthem President Tinubu gan náà mọ̀ President Bola Ahmed Tinubu àjọ máa kà láàárọ̀ yìí ni nígbà tí wọ́n ń bá campaign yẹn lọ tó fẹ́ ṣe first tenure tó lọ sí Àkúrẹ́ òun lélẹ́yìí ẹ jẹ́ kájọ kà á President Tinubu. kàgbéga Fálérí ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹjẹ ká máa lépa ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó bára ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀ ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. ìyàtọ̀ tó kọ̀ wá ń bẹ̀ ni pé President Tinubu sọ pé Yorùbá nation no going back ọkọ̀ ní Afẹ́nifẹ́re. báwo lẹ ṣe láìkì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kíyàn jí láàárọ̀ kí president èèyàn sọ ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ ká Nigerian anthem fún mi ẹ ká Nigerian anthem ẹ kà very sweet Oòduà nation anthem President Tinubu òun lélẹ́yìí Jagaban filẹ̀ ní wọ́n ka Yorùbá anthem so táwa gbé Yorùbá nation dání ó jẹ́ ká máa proud all the time ká tẹ̀ máa lo from now on a máa play video yìí lórí ìkànnì wa látẹ̀ní lọ a gbọ́dọ̀ máa play orin yìí pẹ̀lú President Tinubu nítorí pé President Tinubu lo Yorùbá anthem ní 2022. ẹ jẹ́ ń gbé chair yìí torí mo fẹ́ máa move sẹ́yìn báyìí ẹ̀wọ̀n tí yẹn bá wà ní classroom ìyẹn lọ báyìí as a lecturer tí bá wá fẹ́ jókòó mo ti gbé. I remember when I did my foundation at London Metropolitan University I realized pé bó ṣe ń kọ́yàn níwèé nílùú yìí kò sẹ́ni tó ń pass kò sẹ́ni tó ń fail ní UK everybody must be Nàìjíríà ló máa gbọ́ kí ló gbà F9 olódo rabata ojú ẹja ló mọ̀ ọ́ jẹ́ wá demoralize ẹni yẹn ò ní wá lè gbéra ńlẹ̀ mọ́. But ní UK everybody must pass kò sí failure. But ní Nàìjíríà lédè food security is a failure. Food security failure ní F9 ẹ bá ń power tap. ká tọ́nà iná náà ló máa Ọlọ́run kó bọ́ àṣírí. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a gbọ́dọ̀ máa jọ ẹ jẹ́ ká túbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pẹ̀lú President Bọ́lá Tinubu. ẹ ṣe sùúrù àkànjú mo máa download fídíò yìí. so òun ló nígbà míì èmi akọ máa play máa kọ dúró station èèyàn mélòó tó jọmọ Yorùbá lédè ló mọ Nigerian anthem. I am not talking about the old one. I am talking about the current Nigerian national anthem. How many of you know it? How many of you can raise your hand and say that you as a Nigerian, you know it? Because if you know it, that means you are a proud Nigerian. In between the one that we know, what to switch it, one can lo old one, the current one to get old one. So it shows that it's a country that has everything that will not work for Yoruba people. Kò sí tó kàn mí pé láwọn ìyà tó kù. Tí bá fi pọ́n wọn lé ní nǹkan máa mú wọn wá sórí platform. Kò sí tó kàn mí. I have no business with any other tribe, any other ethnicity. My focus is Yoruba people. Mo kí Professor Adebanji Akintoye. Mo kí gbogbo àwa campaigners for Yoruba nation. It does not matter how you feel about it. It does not matter how you think about it. Even President Tinubu recited. Kí lẹ rò pé wọ́n ṣe recite Nigerian anthem when they went to Akure. Kí ló dé tí President Tinubu ò ṣe recite Nigerian anthem when they went to that campaign trail. Campaign mi tuntun di báyìí. Plug ìkíni látẹ̀ kan. No, I don't need to notice it. Kò bá kọ̀ lọ kó mọ́ mi lẹ́nu ni. There's another campaign trail. So I believe that by the time President Tinubu goes again to Akure, they will not recite the Nigerian anthem. What to recite the Yoruba Oodua anthem. The APC presidential candidate in 2022, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, sings Yoruba national anthem as Yoruba Afenifere leaders official endorsing. Àwọn bàbá Adébánjọ àwọn endorse Tinubu, Peter Obi àwọn endorse. Let's listen to it one more time. The video. This is President Tinubu in Adake Kagbo. And I'm sure President Tinubu can recite it better than the Nigerian anthem. I'm very sure. I'm sure that President Bola Tinubu will be able to recite the Oodua national anthem much better because the language of reciting it is our own indigenous language. Kò ní láti kọ́ ẹlẹ́nu. Bó bá fẹ́ ka iṣẹ́ wa fún lẹ́ kò ń ṣe English ló fi ń kà, Yorùbá ló fi ń kà. So ó gbọ́dọ̀ yẹ ní kéyékéyé àbí. Because tabanika ka Nigerian anthem missing English la máa fi kà, and most of us don't understand English. English is a borrowed language. It's not our language. Àwọn òyìnbó ló gbélé wa lọ́wọ́. And that is why food crisis in Nigeria today. So we should be proud. Whether we are a Nigerian citizen, we still must be proud. We must be officially proud as Oduduwa people. Ọmọ Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire. We must be proud of it anywhere, any day around the globe. Because if President Tinubu is not proud of it, why did they recite it? Kí ló dé tó ṣe recite it? Ẹ káàárọ̀ bàbá mi David Adegoke. Good morning, Mr. David Toba on Instagram. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wọlé lórí TikTok. Ojúbà yín o. So that shows, okay, President Tinubu ò ṣe ka Igbo anthem nígbà tí wọ́n lọ sí Àkúrẹ́. Ò ṣe ka Hausa anthem. The fact that they did not recite Nigerian anthem on that day shows that there is a kind of unity among all the Yorubas, that this anthem is what brings us together as one. Because Bishen Kanisi, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lóye, whether you want Yoruba nation, whether you don't want Yoruba nation, whether you want a restructured Nigeria, whether you don't want Nigeria to be restructured, whether you don't want Nigeria to go, you want Nigeria to remain, but you want a better country where your life in Nigeria, based on our topic this morning, life in Nigeria as a Nigerian citizen, how is it impacting you in the last whatever years you have been on the ground? Ṣé jẹ́ ká gbọ́ lẹ́ǹkan sí ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú. Kàgbéga fàlérí ìgbàgbọ́ wà ní pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá. Why is it lagging? Let's come back out and come back in. Kò jẹ́ kó lag. So let's come back out, come back in. I'm told the YouTube is lagging. So let me just refresh my phones and then come back in because my phone is busy all the time. So let's come back again and hopefully it will be resolved. So I hope it should stop lagging. Mo ti refresh the phone me. Life in Nigeria, cost of living. Before you can even understand that topic, before we can discuss that topic itself, what we need to first officially discuss is what is life? If somebody asks you, what is life? What is a life? Ilé ayé, what is life? If somebody asks you today that what is life? How do you define life? How do we define life? Báwo la ṣe máa define it? How do we define it? If I say life, how do we define that life itself? How do we define it? For you, for me, as a layman, how do you define life? Ilé ayé, life. Let's first find the meaning of life. So let's go to the English dictionary and find, yes, Eshegoni for letting me know because I wouldn't have known that it's lagging. Life. This is Saturday morning on our broadcast, our lecture room, where we discuss everything that has impact to the life. Because if I don't discuss it with you, nobody else might discuss it. So let's find the meaning of life. L-I-F-E, life. So let's look at the pronunciation.
Life.
Kí ló pè?
Life.
Life. L-I-F-E. The moment you stop breathing, they supported pẹ̀lú oxygen. Mo mọ̀ bí àwọn hospital Nigeria ní oxygen tó lè máa fi support èèyàn. The moment tí o bá lè breathe fún rẹ, a gbọ́dọ̀ lè fún ẹ ní oxygen. I remember when my mom was at the hospital, may God continue to bless her soul, and she was given oxygen. And I was speaking to a beautiful sister of mine in the US. I'm one for reading oxygen here. Only oxygen ton fún yẹn. As at that time, at the Olojomade, only it is normal because Allah ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń ṣe dáadáa lágbàáyé, she's one of them. In a big hospital somewhere in one of the states in America. So the moment mo fún ní reading yẹn pé in tí mo rí lára oxygen yẹn lélẹ̀, Nigeria ló máa ra oxygen fún family ẹ̀ tó máa tún yọ tó máa gbé fẹ́ lòmíì tó máa tà life ẹni tó need oxygen yẹn tẹ́yìn send owó sí ní Nigeria life ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ń dù but àwọn tó wà lọ́sibítù ò dù life ẹ̀ wọ́n dù life ẹ̀ because tó bá dù life ẹ̀ ni ó jẹ́ káwọn governors wa kí lẹ sọ sá bàbá mi tíní titles ní life is complex. Láti ìgbà tí ìyá mi ti kú nísìn, I have to adjust a lot of things because láàárọ̀ Saturday mo lè ti pè á ti pè mí á ní kí n bá òun ra fruit wá á ní kí n bá òun ra kí n yà ní Sainsbury's ó like Sainsbury's fruit á fún mi ní list. I still have all the WhatsApp messages tí èmi àti ìyá mi have not because my mother's WhatsApp is pinned to the first. ẹ mọ̀ pé o lè pin èèyàn mẹ́ta, ìyá mi ni number 1 tí mo pin sókè. So even though she has died, every time I open my WhatsApp, I'm still seeing her details. So life is a complex, life-sustained, evolving process characterized metabolism, homeostasis, growth, adaptation, reproduction. A ní life tá à ń gbé nínú Nàìjíríà ò tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. Ṣé kò jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ ní ká dákẹ́? Ká má bàa upset ẹ̀yin kan. Kí o ti bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ life ẹ nínú Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé life ẹ ó wà valuable, kò wà valuable, but ẹ̀tọ́ Koikimedia ni pé kí n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa life ẹ. O bá disagree pẹ̀lú mi because èmi rí pé life tá à ń gbé nínú Nàìjíríà yẹn láti ìgbà tí wọ́n náà ti create Nàìjíríà kò ń ṣe life tó tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. So let's look at the English Dictionary of Life. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and you're listening to Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. Ṣé mo rí lè ní ìdènà ìṣá? I'm wasting now. I need it. Reflection yẹn náà dá tó níta. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ rí wa, ohun mi lè need. The condition that distinguish animals and plants. Ewé ló wà ní gbogbo ìta tí mò ń rí. Ẹ̀mí tí ń padà sí wọn lára because during the winter is like the life dies in the trees. How many of you notice that? Those of us in Europe ni mo ń sọ, ó lè máa dibẹ̀ ní Africa. Do you know that when winter approaches, ewé á dẹ̀ máa gbẹ? Kí ló ń jẹ́ kó gbẹ? Kí ló ń fà tó fi ń gbẹ? Ẹ ṣé gan ni Princess Doyin, wọ́n ní ikú ló máa pa àwọn tó ní kẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀. Àṣẹ ní sọ̀rọ̀. So náà torí pé mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn, ó ń upset ẹ̀yin kan pé à ń pè fún life wa nínú Nàìjíríà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo náwọn ìyà tó kù ò da, àní ìran tèmi jẹ mí lógún, ìran tèmi lèmi ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Life, ẹ̀mí yín, life. Mo kí láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣé gan ni gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká ṣì sọ, àníṣẹ́ yìí. Ẹ̀yin náà la máa bá, torí ti bá ń dá sọ̀rọ̀, olúwẹ̀ ti di wèrè nìyẹn. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ pé ibẹ̀ ṣe wọlé, ẹ̀yin náà bá mi wọlé. Mo kí Mr. Excellent Official, when I am glad to see you here today. Àmọ́ wà níbẹ̀ lójoojúmọ́. Ó kọ́ ẹ pé mo ò ní time àti day tí mo lè sọ pé ìjọba ilẹ̀ máa bá Koiki pàdé, but ẹ bá ti follow wa, ti bá go live ẹ rí. Mo kí má jàjẹ̀ sìn, fi àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn sílẹ̀, ẹni tó bá believe nǹkan kan fi sílẹ̀, but in tá à ń sọ ni pé life tá à ń gbé nínú Nàìjíríà ó ní impact sí life àwọn ọmọ Oòduà torí kò ń ṣerú life yẹn la fẹ́. So bọ̀ká tó lè máa sọ̀rọ̀ life in Nigeria àti mọ Nàìjíríà a lè gbé lọ sórí Netflix. Okay brother mi o ṣe mo rí ẹ báńkì ìyàwó ẹ àtàwọn ọmọ Oòduà lọ́hùn. So the meaning of life, if I tell anybody to describe Nigeria in one word, and the phone line is open, tabare tó fi dá sí, I'm sure you will have something to say about Nigeria. Lánàá, we were actually given the breakdown of a military era of Nigeria that destroyed almost everything called your life in Nigeria. Because during the military time, our life has not been impacted by all the coups and all the military generals till date. Ìyà military era láti ń jẹ́ dọ́là. Àtúwá bọ́ sí civilian era, democracy, a gbọ́dọ̀ lè sọ̀rọ̀. Ìgbà military ni ológun tó ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa fi ìbọn lé ẹ. During democracy time, we want Yoruba nation doesn't mean we will be, pushed aside and say no. In tó ń pè ní democracy nìyẹn. Ẹ máa debate, ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ máa fà níwájú, ẹ máa fà lẹ́yìn. Báwa bá náà fẹ́ Yoruba nation, àwọn olóṣèlú wa lè sọ pé kò tí tó àsìkò. But we must continue to engage and discuss. The phone number is still the same. Plus the UK code, plus 44 74 04 40 5917. Plus 44 74 04 40 5917. So we are trying to understand the meaning of life. Kato wa padà sí life yẹn LIFE afẹ́ jù sínú Nàìjíríà. Báwo ni life ẹni tó ń gbé ní UK kò ṣe ní wá better no, let's put it this way. Báwo ni life ẹni tó wà ní abroad ní Europe, báwo ni life ẹ ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ dájú ẹni tó wà l'Africa? Kí ló dé tí life wọ̀ ọ̀dá l'Africa? We must never wish for any military. Tí military bá gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ Tinubu lẹ́nìí, ẹ jẹ́ kọ́ra fi sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kọ́sì ìjà karama manage democracy yẹn. Because nínú democracy làwa náà ti ráyè sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn. Because yes, you know, people will be petition. Koiki bó ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, a lè petition ibo ló ti evidence. Ìyẹn normal ni ama. Bí Lord was taken to court, wọ́n máa lọ sí court ni. But ní military era, wọ́n máa tiẹ̀ mọ́lé sínú dungeon. Wọ́n ní jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn rí ẹ wá pa ẹ́. Iṣẹ́ military nìyẹn. And that is why we must not allow any military. Bọ́mọ Yíbò sọ̀rọ̀ ní bíbá ìkókó jágbàjàgbà lọ. Àwọn máa lè ní kàn mí pẹ̀lú ọmọ Yíbò. Ìgbòho is recruiting, go and join it. Kò ní da fún bàbá ẹ̀. Àwọn tó bí ọ̀ní ṣúrí ọmọ Yíbò. Tó bá dé ìjọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn. Àwọn tó ní ẹ́ Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó jèrè ẹ̀. I'm not talking to the Igbo people. What concerning an Igbo people and Hausa people and Fulani people. I'm talking to my Yoruba people. So don't come on my platform and be telling me about nonsense of your own whatever you think about, you know, Igbowo. Igbowo na you Igbo person. Why are the am I being more faith debate? Kilo mansha omo Igbo yen. Why are you more worried about we Yoruba people of the step Igbowo is taking? Igbowo is no more a freedom fighter. Okay, he's not a freedom fighter. What is your problem with that? Kini problem yin pẹ̀lú yẹn? Èyí tẹ́ pé ẹ máa ń kíkì ya yín látorí bẹ́ẹ̀dì ni. Èyí tẹ́ ní culture. Ṣé ẹ ní culture ni? I'm Mali. And I'm not talking to those that respect my views. And tó bá ti respect the views me from the perspective of a Yoruba man, tó jẹ́ ọmọ Igbo, àwọn tó nílò ní jẹ́ káwọn bí ẹ̀ jèrè ẹ̀. Ní ṣépè fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. But ẹ̀yẹ wọn Igbo tẹ́ bá wá sórí platform wa, tẹ́ ń sọ kábàkábà, èpè àwọn alálẹ̀ la máa fi tì í sẹ́yìn. Tọ́lá nǹkan ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my Yoruba people. Can call me tribalistic and whatever, kò sí tó kàn mí. Because British is divided to Wales, Scottish and English. What the more one? Let's come back to the discussion. Live, and me and you. Please power tap and invite others. I'm live. The condition that distinguish animals and plants from inorganic matter, including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity. Ewé ló ti ń jáde báyìí. Mo lè fún yín view a little bit o. Mo lè turn camera and send you. Kò mean anything. Kẹ́lẹ̀ bá rí òun ni. Fẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí Facebook. Ṣé ti rí ewé yẹn? Ṣé rí? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní bíbá. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ fún mi pé ṣé rí? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok nìkan lè má rí. How many of you can see what I'm looking at from my back view? Bí ewé ṣe wà kọ́ nìyẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Ewé tẹ̀ ń rí bí ó ṣe wà tẹ́lẹ̀ kọ́ nìyẹn. Let me bring it back to my screen. This shows that atin lọ sí spring, ẹ̀mí tí ń padà sára àwọn ewé yẹn, ewé tó gbẹ tèmi fojú mi rí ní gbogbo winter tí gbogbo igi gbẹ pátápátá, ewé yẹn ti nourish, ẹ̀mí ti padà sára ẹ̀. Kí ló dé tí àwọn èèyàn wa nílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire lẹ́ni? Kí ni reason? Gẹ́gẹ́ bí àkọlé ètò ti ọ̀sán yìí, torí a ti lọ sí aago méjìlá fi lọ lù. Life in Nigeria, cost of living crisis. Kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe tí àwọn èèyàn wa máa fi gbégbé ayé tó dáa? Give them the welfare that they need. Support ẹni tó bá ní disability challenge and make it the enabling environment. Why táwọn governors wọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ tó tó yẹn? Why táwọn deputy governor? Why tí àwọn politicians ní house tí wọ́n make àwọn òfin tó máa favour ọmọ Yorùbá against any other person? Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni mo ń sọ. I'm not talking about ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ ní south east. Ọmọ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ take advantage nínú state against any other Nigerians. It doesn't matter. Because state one, even though they can say we are one Nigeria, we are never one Nigeria. The one says, and I quote, by the time we Yoruba were wearing ashoke, wearing leather armor, sitting on horses, just like brother mi tó bá ń gbé cigar tá bá ń ṣe ojúde ọba yẹn, Princess Doyin sọ pé greediness ni èèyàn kan fẹ́ kó gbogbo wealth, kó dẹ̀ kó sí àpò ara ẹ̀ kó wá máa yọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ kò jẹ́ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn àtúnṣe làwa fi ń pariwo pé tí Nàìjíríà yóò bá wọ́ọ̀kì fún wa ká wá solution sí. But àwọn kan ní òkè kò lè tí rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká béèrè fún restructure ṣe rántí àwọn Yorùbá assembly. But mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ lọ sí cost of living ní Nàìjíríà lẹ́ni nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni kò ṣe kódà even ní ìlú gan sef àti gba yàrá kan fáwọn èèyàn wa ó difficult. Kí ló dé tó gbọ́dọ̀ lè tó yẹn? Why must our people have to suffer just to get a single room tó máa gbé as ọ̀dọ́? Why are we not implementing and putting things in place that would have great impact, policies, implementation, infrastructures? Kí ló dé táwọn governors ò kọ́ many houses? Nígbà tí mo tán kámẹ́rà mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan, wọ́n ń kọ́lé síwájú mi bí ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. 18 and 12 bedrooms. Wọ́n ń kọ́ sọ́nkan náà, wọ́n ń kọ́ sínú ọgbà tèmi wà. Gbogbo alárántí bàbá Jákàndé tó kọ́ àwọn ilé. Lára ilé tí bàbá Jákàndé kọ́ lèmi láǹfààní àti gbé lọ́dọ̀ grandma mi ní Adéníjàdélé ní phase 2. Ṣé gbogbo èèyàn ló máa ní billions and millions of naira láti lọ ra ilẹ̀ tó máa ra ilé ni? Why is life in Nigeria difficult for Yoruba people? Who do we hold accountable? Democracy láwa a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ní ẹ lè ní ká má sọ̀rọ̀ nínú democracy sí ní ìjọba military. And kò dẹ̀ ní pé torí a fẹ́ self-determination fáwọn ta believe in the dissolution of Nigeria ká má wá sọ pé ìyà tó ń jà wọ́n yan wa ká wá dákẹ́. We must continue to nail it until tó bá gbọ́. Whether they want Nigeria, they must make life of our people work. The life of our people must work in Nigeria. Ṣé fìlà yẹn ṣó lọ dáadáa? Omi táàkù tí ọlọ́gbé sí mi lá. Àwọn aṣọ yìí ti pẹ́ kò ń ṣe ti níwọ̀n tí mo ṣẹ̀ kó dé. Àwọn níwọ̀n yẹn mò ń tọ́jú ẹ̀ torí àwọn wedding kan máa jáde ní summer yìí tèmi náà fi bá wọn lọ. Ìbádẹ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wọ̀ nísìn. Àwọn èèyàn ti rí pé ó ti wọlé rí. Let's go back to the meaning of life. Good morning once again. Ẹ bá wa máa comment. Ẹ bá wa share. Ẹlòmíì láti lè share program wa sí orí page wọn ó máa ń look like pé mo kíyàwó ọmọlára Ìyábọ̀ Àjàlá. I don't think they do that in that country because they are all heartless and they are all wicked soul. Make life àwọn èèyàn wa. People that are in Yoruba land, well, they are not asking for much. They're just asking for 494 mi àti ibi tí mo dúró sí yẹn ni. Ó ti sọ pé irọ́ ló pa. Ó ti ṣe kiri. It's a couple of kajeko. I think it's because I'm charging it and I'm also facing the sun. Mo dẹ̀ fi pẹ́ náà púpọ̀, so probably an hour program because èmi náà níbi tí mo fẹ́ lọ. So let's hope that comes back. Mo ti fi sínú fridge kó lè tutù díẹ̀ so that a lè padà. Mo kẹ́yìn yan wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ọbẹ̀ Elédùmarè á túbọ̀ wà pẹ̀lú wa ní ṣe lásán làálàá kókó wa jọ̀ǹjọ̀ wa akúkú débi tá à ń fẹ́. Wọ́n ní ibi tá à ń lọ kò jìn púpọ̀, ibi tá à ń yà sí káàkiri òun ló make it look like that. So let's go back. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube ó kàn sọ fún mi pé fóònù yẹn ó gbóná púpọ̀, so mo ti yọ kúrò lára charger mo sáré jù sínú fridge díẹ̀ ni o. Now let's come back because 1 hour náà ni mo fẹ́ fi digest ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ká dẹ̀ máa lọ. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí ètò. Now mo kàn jókòó láàárọ̀ yìí in tó prompt ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ẹ tó bá ń gbọ́ channels láàárọ̀ yìí they're talking about cost of living. In táwọn náà sọ̀rọ̀ lórí nìyẹn lórí channels morning show wọn láàárọ̀ in tó prompt tí mo fi wá jáde nìyẹn o pé kémi náà kọ́ sọ pé kí ló fà á bí ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ nílà ká ìjọ wa lọ ẹ lè help wa yàtọ̀ sáwà tí a fẹ́ dissolution of Nigeria. So nígbà tí mo wá lọ sórí Google mo kàn type in kí ni báwo mo ṣe type ẹ̀ I typed Nigeria cost of living. Mo kàn type ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ sórí Google and right there and there ó pop up pẹ̀lú one article. So article yẹn lájọ máa digest tí máa kà. Article yẹn was put out by DW. DW is a German media. In case you don't know, they're like another media similar to BBC, the Sky News and all that. And I think here is Germany only, DW. So, who owns Dutch Wellies? Longe? They're very popular, just like the BBC or your own TVC in Nigeria. So DW is the short word for it, but it's actually called German. They only understand it, pronounce it that Germany. Deutsche Welle. She more pronounce it that in Germany. Deutsche Welle is a German public international broadcast owned by Federal Republic of Germany. So is equivalent to the BBC, owned by the government. It's not a private. How can we help the Yoruba people in Kwara State? Question mark. Help one. So let's come back to the article. So article. This article was pushed out on the 1st of January or 2026. Inú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ti yọ picture tí ó wà lẹ́yìn yín ní TikTok àtẹ̀yìn tí ẹ wà lórí Facebook. Èmi kọ́ ni mò ń ta àwọn nǹkan tẹ̀ ń rí yẹn. Ṣòfẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí YouTube ẹ ti rí thumbs mi pé mo fi picture lórí àpé picture ara mi ni mo lò. Anyway, let's go further. This was put together by Martina Shiwikowiski. Oríṣiríṣi orúkọ ló wà láyé. Mo kẹ́yìn yan wa. Báwo ni mo ṣe fi mọ price pineapple mi ò sí Nàìjíríà? Èyí tó bá wà Nàìjíríà lè máa bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Mo ní picture yẹn was extracted from this particular media tí mo ti rí information tí mo fẹ́ ká ẹ̀. Nigerians face soaring food prices. Soaring. SOARING. Àwọn òyìnbó tó máa ń lò yìí ó máa ń fúnyàn ní ó máa ń da brain wa rú. So I have to go and look for the meaning. I know it, but just to get a bit of, fún gbogbo wa náà ni. The word
soaring.
Ó fò lókè. Wọ́n ní nígbà kan bag of rice ó lè tẹ́ ra petrol iye kan ní. Tí ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó ti yé yín ẹ ti get nǹkan tó mì. Ó yàtọ̀ sí Èmi Koikimedia tí mo wá Nàìjíríà tí mo wá padà pẹ̀lú flying plane tó lọ sí 30,000 feet 32,000 tá à ń jẹ yànmùyàn tá à ń ṣe yànmùyàn nínú ẹ̀ ẹlòmíà lọ jàǹbá ṣẹlẹ̀ àdúpẹ́ pàwọn lọ pàm padà. So increase rapidly above usual level. Nǹkan kan lọ sókè gbìgì kí ló ń fà tó fi ń lọ sókè kí ló dé tó já wálẹ̀. Why is it soaring? A very welcome to our discussion this morning. Martins Olaseyinde Moki gbogbo ẹ̀yin ti Kogi State àti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín lánàá. This is another topic, this is another day, and this is another discussion. And we want to make it nice and easy, bam, 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 and then we can all go and do other things. So I'm not going to keep you too long. So let's read the article. Tibawa Katon, I want you to tell me, kí lẹ̀yin feel pé ṣé lóòótọ́ ni article yìí àbí wọ́n kọ́ exaggerated. Nigerian face high mo ti sọ mí ní soaring yẹn nǹkan tó ń fly. Ẹ tó ń wa ọ̀kadà àtẹni tó ń wa Ferrari ìkànnì wọn méjèèjì ṣá alura wọn. Soaring food prices after subsidy cut amid record inflation. But President Bola Tinubu Eshegoni, the one YQ, what fún wa ní super chat, wọ́n ní Koiki, fún tó gbé wá yìí, Oòduà gbé wá, àwọn ọmọ Oòduà tata. Thank you so much for the super chat, we're grateful. And all those that have joined us and all our families and friends. But President Bola Tinubu says reforms will pay off, but daily life is getting harder. The president says he's doing everything possibly best to make your life cost of living in Nigeria, but it doesn't seem to be going down, is it? Let me ask this question. ṣé aláwọn tó ń sabotage pé kí life àwọn Nigerians kó má lọ sókè rárá kó kàn máa drop kó máa drop wálẹ̀ ṣé I am not talking about this particular present administration. I'm just talking about the history of Nigeria. Is there a deliberate mission to make sure that our lives as Nigerians will not be as we want it? Now we can now say, okay, based on President Tinubu says he will do everything possibly best to make our life better. Subsidy was removed, but nothing has really changed. We know that. But the question is, even within his government, ṣé aláwọn kan tó wà nínú government yẹn pé àníṣe ebi máa pa àwọn èèyàn epo máa wọ́n ẹ ṣe gan ni ìyàwó Bọ́lá àwọn náà ní Koiki mo support ẹ with £2 láàárọ̀ yìí kò wá sí owó tó kéré mo máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn kò sí owó tó kéré every little helps bàbá mi Adégòkè sọ pé Koiki kò ń ṣe àwọn tó wà ní government nìkan kódà ẹ ṣe gan ni great life coach ni ẹ share program yìí ọ̀rọ̀ tó arákùnrin yìí sọ kò kúkú ṣe tarẹ̀ ibi tó wà ebi ò lè pa bébí bá pa gan àwa tó máa jẹ káàkiri. So thank you so much everyone and I'm not going to take your time because it's Saturday and I want you to do other things but mo kàn sáré mu wá gbà tèmi náà gbọ́ tó ń sọ lórí channels mo ní kémi náà wá sọ fáwọn èèyàn tiwa pé kí ló ń fà tí the cost of living ní Nàìjíríà tó ń high kò dé wálẹ̀. Ṣé President Tinubu nìkan ni a máa blame fún cost of living? Ṣé governors wa nìkan la máa blame? Ṣáwọn olówó la máa blame? Ṣáwọn àwọn èèyàn ńláńlá tó ń bẹ nínú Nàìjíríà? Ṣáwọn northerners la fẹ́ blame? Ṣé north la fẹ́ blame? Ṣé south la fẹ́ blame? Ṣé Benue is the food basket of Nigeria but àwọn Fúlàní náà jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn lọ sóko. So that means pé ẹ̀yà kan wà nínú Nàìjíríà tó yàtọ̀ sí pé politics ẹ̀yà kan tí wọ́n wà nínú Nàìjíríà tó yẹ pé wọ́n fẹ́ make life tó kókó le kókókókó fáwọn èèyàn wa lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ebi ni mo sọ nísìnyí because how can we say we have vast amount of lands in that country called Nigeria ebi dẹ̀ ń pa àwọn èèyàn when insurgency when terrorists are moving with heavy force to destroy and make our life difficult then what do? We fold our hands. The president says they are doing their best to stop the insurgency. The military are saying they are doing their best, but over 700 were just reintegrated back into the society. Àwọn tó ń pààyàn. Ìyẹn ò tí. Sometimes I'm wondering, ṣé President Tinubu ló wà in charge? Àbí Sultan of Sokoto? Because implementation Buhari yẹn tó ń bábọ̀ yẹn tó bá jẹ́ mi ni President Tinubu sometimes must operate like Donald Trump. We might not like him, but àwọn kan wà tó máa ṣe dé pé just put a full stop to it. Why are we integrating people that have killed a lot of Nigerians back into the society? Mo kí yàrá Bọ́lá Nelson. Mo náà ní pẹ́sẹ́, mo wo time, mo fẹ́ kó stick to 1 hour. So ẹ jẹ́ ká ka article yẹn torí pé a sì tún máa padà wá later. A tún máa náà program mi táwọn staff wa náà máa ṣe. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa pé láàárọ̀ yìí ẹ lọ́sàn-án yìí níbikíbi tí ẹ bá wà ọbẹ̀ Elédùmarè ò ní fi wá sílẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká kà lọ désàlẹ̀. The price of food and basic products sharply rose after Tinubu ended the fuel subsidy program. Ria James, a teacher at a primary school in Surulere níbi tẹ́mi ti ṣe Onward Nursery and Primary School nígbà tí a wà ní kékeré. Lagos has to spend more on transport than ever before. Owó táwọn èèyàn gbà ní owó níbi iṣẹ́ nísìn kò tó owó tó fi wọ mọ́tò kò ká. I mean you are getting 70,000 naira and you have spent almost 100,000 for transport alone. Mo mọ iye tá a fi wọ mọ́tò nígbà tẹ́mi náà wá sí Nàìjíríà ní yẹ́ yìí. From point A to point B mo mọ iye tí wọ́n ń gbà lọ́wọ́ wa. And I was going on the public transport because I just wanted to experience it like I always say. So, yes, some of us can afford it. Níbẹ̀ ló máa ríyàn tó máa wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ẹ fún mi 100 naira ní ìjọsà. Ẹ fún mi ní 500. And not everybody is poor in Nigeria, but according to the information that we have, 60%, about 140 40 million Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Okay, Mighty, thank you so much for the gift. We so much appreciate that. Every little helps. So, wọ́n ní teacher kan wà ní Surulere. Ó ní owó tóun fi ń wọ mọ́tò. Owó tóun fi ń wọ mọ́tò. Owó tóun fi ń wọ mọ́tò. Filẹ̀ Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí n tó rí. Mo ti rí pé ẹ bá mi bá èèyàn kan sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Ó ti sá lọ sókè ní. A tún padà wá. Torí àwọn a ti mọ̀ pé àwọn kan orúkọ mo ti rí ẹni tí mo wá èyí tó máa kọ ọmọ ni ọmọ àlè kò ní disturb yín wọn owó tí whether I calm níta díẹ̀ nísìn ó calm I can feel it even right inside there a dẹ̀ need weather yẹn torí pé vitamin C and really ní púpọ̀ ní bíbá ẹ̀. The cost of transport in Lagos today, many of our people are living in Sango-Ota. Wọ́n jí ní 4 o'clock, wọ́n bọ̀ ní Èkó, Ìdúmọ̀tà láti wá tajà. And when you go to those axes, mo mọ̀ yàn kan tó ń lọ sí ọ̀nà ọbẹ̀ yẹn báyìí nísìnyí tó bá débẹ̀ màá ní kó ṣe fídíò tó bá lè you know Nigeria you gotta be very careful to make videos because kí là ń ṣe fídíò wa fún kí là ń kọ̀dọ̀ wa fún. It's a busy place. But many of those tẹ́ ẹ̀ rí yẹn time kan spend lórí títì kan tó dé ìsọ̀ wọn kọ́lọ̀ jẹ́ kẹ́bi yẹn kó last because we need more. I know Governor Sanwo-Olu, they are pushing to put more red line so that you don't spend more time on the road. We want people to move swiftly, and for that to happen there must be great development across all the Yoruba land. And that is why while Tinubu is there right now, let them pump more money to the southwest. Àwọn Babangida pump owó lọ sí north. Wọ́n ní títì wọ́n máa ń tẹ́ ni. Ẹ pump owó padà wá sọ́dọ̀ tiwa náà. Kí owó tí ó ń jáde ní Lagos State kí a lè rí impacted in the lives of our people. Because some of you don't know that time spent on the road. The time you spend on that road, ẹ lò 3 hours, 4 hours, ẹ̀mí èèyàn kúrú díẹ̀ ni. Kọ́lọ́ wà pẹ̀lú wa. So let's move swiftly because of the time. There is hardly anything left after my salary. I mean, you don't think salary. Ìlú iná, bàbá ṣe ń gbà náà làwọn náà ṣe ń ná. Tó bá gba £200 nísìn, bí a ò ṣiṣẹ́ ó gba £200. Nísìn, èmi náà máa ra bus pass mi ní Monday, ó pẹ́ jù. Ó ti expire látijọ́ Wednesday. Ó yẹ kí n rà mí ní Wednesday, but because mo really jáde lọ anywhere, mo kọ̀ pé kí ni ìgbà tí mo jáde lánàá mo kàn ṣe single touch and that's about £1.70 ìgbà tí mo tún padà but tó bá máa fi di Monday mo gbọ́dọ̀ ra £24.70 but mo mọ̀ pé £24.70 yẹn ti bá lọ lórí títì yàtọ̀ sí tó bá ń ṣe road works bọ́ọ̀sì tó bá sọ pé òun máa dé Dustin òun máa dé Liverpool Street òun máa dé Peckham òun máa dé Harrow tí mo dẹ̀ wọ bọ́ọ̀sì yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ gbé mi débẹ̀. I don't want to spend hours on the bus tó bá wá sọ pé o fẹ́ jẹ́ kó yá wà lọ sórí underground but why are Nigerians salary not enough to take them for the next week? O ti gba salary fáwọn tó tẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn because millions of you are not working. Ó gbà tó wá gba salary yẹn by the time you look at that salary o ti kúrò lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ because why o ti fi wọ transport. Kò dẹ̀ sí subsidy kankan láti ilé iṣẹ́ àbí látọ̀dọ̀ federal government. The one why Q6 sọ pé Yoruba nation or Yoruba nation whichever one is okay with me. I wasn't really a Tinubu man and still not but he has my respect for now because of Sunday Igboho situation. Yes, that is a fact. We don't force Tinubu on anybody. Nika torí I think Tinubu I want force lórí ọmọ Yoruba. No, what we are saying is that the chances of Yoruba nation, the chances might be 0.000.1 but the chances that Tinubu that is there we can still do something than Tinubu not being there because I don't know if Peter Obi becomes the president he will listen to such. I don't know whether Atiku to know when he contest mo lẹ́yìn. But let's focus back on the discussion here. Sometimes the bus conductor demands higher prices practically overnight. I don't have enough money with me, she explained. Obìnrin lẹni tó ń sọ yìí. I can hardly afford to shop at the market and all customers have this problem of dwelling fund kò sí owó lápò àwọn èèyàn. Not just the poorer ones. Around 52% of Nigerians struggle to make ends meet. 52%. That is extremely high. Nígbà tí 52% of Nigerians struggle ojí láàárọ̀ nísìn, àná nísìn, ara ilé, yẹ kò ṣe kó cheap. I spent about almost £50 just yesterday alone. Go cheap. And by the time I look at all the items, it's not cheap. Especially in Teba oh expensive. But the difference is that Awashi Rishe, Tawanonshe, but commit by UK. Great lights up. Politics is full of lies. And it's true. Like Osimoki Gugwe, as like I said, let's keep it for 1 hour. We will come back again and have more discussion. But before we go, let's read more. Everyday life has become a test of endurance for most people in Nigeria. Every day, every blessed day, Toba Jini no Nigeria, it has become a test of endurance. Because okay, only 2,000 naira lower. Nígbà tó bá jáde tó sọ pé owó bọ́ọ̀sì ti di kinní kan. By the time you look at owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, o lè fẹ́ jẹun, o lè fẹ́ survive. Income ò dẹ̀ wọlé, and many Nigerians are working on a daily basis. Tó bá jáde ló máa róúnjẹ, tó bá ti jáde problem ni. But the food prices are at the highest level in over 20 years, and high inflation and skyrocketing transportation costs are exacerbating the cost of living crisis. Ìyẹn mo ṣe bèrè pé ṣé àwọn kan wà behind this agenda to make Nigerians to suffer? And if those people are there, what do we do and how do we resolve these issues, especially if our Yoruba? Economic progress, because I have just about 3 minutes. Economic progress is but pains remain. The consequence of COVID-19 pandemic, a deteriorating security situation and supply chain. Kini too hot. That's the reason why we have to, kind of almost end it so that because the heat is affecting the phones as well. So mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé èèyàn ajú wa ṣe bí a ṣe ń sọ pé kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kó san wá sówó kó san wá sàlàáfíà bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ṣe máa rí. Gbogbo àwọn tó bá wọn sọ pé kò ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó kù yín torí pé àwa mọ̀ pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó máa dẹ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìgbà tó máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ òun náà ni à ń pariwo ẹ̀ lójoojúmọ́ sódà kí a lè jọ dé ilẹ̀ lérí wo là ń sọ ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè tó máa wà fún èmi tó máa wà fún ìwọ tó máa wà fún àwọn ọmọ ẹ àti àwọn gbogbo èèyàn tó bá jẹ́ àwọn olólùfẹ́ wa. So lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí like I said, ẹ má bínú èèyàn wa on the YouTube. I only have 3 minutes because heat yẹn won't affect the phone yẹn, so won't shut it down. So just to to wind it down, Nigeria implemented difficult but necessary reforms in 2023 to stabilize the macroeconomic, according to the World Bank. The resulting price pressure has further eroded household purchasing power. Àwọn èèyàn ní owó tó pọ̀ láti ra nǹkan sínú ilé láti fi bọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn. Ọkọ ṣiṣẹ́ títí owó tó ń gbà kò lè fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ nínú ilé. Although recent macroeconomic reforms have led to economic stabilization, inflation remains high. I am barely surviving, according to Uche, who works at a store that sells games for entertainment. Said it is no longer enough 3 meals a day, he told DW. Emmanuel, who also runs a photo studio in Lagos, complained about the overall business environment. In any country, if you have not put measures in place to cushion the overall business environment, people will also suffer. What do I mean by that? I have told you there must be adequate infrastructure that takes people from one end to the other. Mukiawa Grace Olushoto. And as we are coming to the end of this broadcast, because I said it's going to be 1 hour, and I don't want it to go more than 1 hour. On the road to recovery, Tinubu took 2 decisive steps. He cut the largest subsidy, the currency and the gasoline. The naira was regulated instead of the market determining the price. Clark, an economic expert at the African Research Institute based in Berlin and Nigeria, told DW, This had a massive negative impact. It had, but it was not carried out with sensitive and caution, and the currency rapidly lost value. In addition, there were cuts in energy price subsidy. Transportation costs rose so high that civil servants no longer went to work for 5 days a week. So we hope that our governors, I know that they are campaigning for election now. They don't have time for anybody right now. One need time for any kokonisi in our governors in Bubuonisi attempt to feel low, because some of them are going while some are coming back. Probably maybe one or two. I know Osun State is coming back. Osun Lomakokoshe election in August. Dakpabiodo has completed his 8 years. Is going. Seyi Makinde has completed his 8 years. Is going. So a lot of changes. Sanwo-Olu has completed his 8 years. They are going. So right now and this week, politics in the wiki, because as April 23rd, wọ́n máa nominate ẹni tó máa jẹ́ bóyá ti Lagos State, ó dà pé Ogun State ti yọ títọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn. So right now they are not interested in anything more than politics, but we will continue to hammer and tell them that the lives of our people, ìgbésí ayé àwọn èèyàn wa kò rọrùn rárá. It has been very difficult, and we pray and hope that things will change. Somebody is asking me, do you trust the World Bank and what they tell us about African nations? What do we do when we don't have our own stability to make decisions? I was reading about, say, IMF now advise America, and they advise America, but does America follow whatever IMF is saying? So you cannot say World Bank is doing the best for Africa. It is entirely up to the Africans to take decision, because we have the natural resources that the world needs. But since we have refused to put things in place, the world will continue to tell us and dictate to us. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. I hope you enjoy, the very short 60 minutes on our channel this morning, and we hope to be back. Grace Olushoto says, and quote, "It is too costly. Most people in European countries are the ones sending money to their loved ones to help so that they won't die ultimate death. Everything is getting complicated. Where do we go from here?" Moke not here wani not Osun Ekiti, own as well, is June. Okay, so I'm told that Ekiti, not Osun Ekiti, in June, but I think Osun State governorship election is going to happen in August. But whatever it is, all our governors, all the politicians, I can tell you, they're not interested in anything more than how they return back to power. I pray things will get better. Self-determination has indicated that we are right and we are still on track, and we will continue to highlight it across board. Thank you so much for watching and spending the very first morning with us. Thank you so much, Yoruba Space TV, for watching and also giving us the gift as well. Mr. Odulayo Oluwafemi Eshegoni, and I have to go now because, like I said, the day is I have a message here from Yawa Otojometa Grandma Mojade Sonya. Ìnira ìlú wa pọ̀. How I wish Tinubu changed his mind to help the Yorubas. He has been good to the North for too long. Thank you so much, Koiki. And on that note, we end it this way. We will do something again in the evening when we sit down, but I do different angle. And probably maybe my staff will be out as well. Continue to support this channel. Continue to subscribe. But most importantly, let's fund this platform. There's a lot that it can do to continue to highlight the danger that many Nigerians are living today. God bless you and God bless us. Bye for now. Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ireo, bye for now. Okay, when you're on Facebook, thank you so much.